if you're Gen Z Millennial, I want to show you something that I don't think is fair, but I think you need to know. 75% of companies say that they aren't satisfied with your work, and 1 in 6 say that they're hesitating to hire your generations, which is crazy. But hear me out. I'm Jennifer Dillon, and I have supervised dozens of millennials and Gen Zers. And I really have a bone to pick with the employers who are making these kind of sweeping judgments about your generations. And I'll be making a video for them as well. You might want to watch that one too. I know you guys are smart, you're creative, you're empathetic. I think that you see through a lot of the outdated workplace structures that are wasting time, that just don't make any sense anymore. And I tend to agree. But I also want to make sure you keep the jobs you like, you make the money you want, and you have the impact on the workplace that you want to have. So I'm going to give you 4 things that you can do to stand out. Plus, the one game-changing mindset shift that got me from making burritos at a fast food place to becoming a lawyer and running my own businesses. And trust me, once I figured this out, I always moved up really fast. So first, the 4 things. Number 1, communication is everything. A workplace runs on communication. Nobody can read your mind. That doesn't mean you need to be the loudest person or the most talkative person, but it does mean that you need to speak up if you don't understand something. That's totally okay. Let your coworkers know when something affects them, especially if you're working remotely. Be upfront about what's working for you or not working for you on the job. I think a lot of people are afraid to say, I don't know how to do this. But the truth is that no one really expects you to know everything. You are hired because you seem capable in that direction, not because you kind of magically know everything on day one. With all the experience that I have, if I started a new job tomorrow, I would not know everything and I would have to be asking a lot of questions. The best employees ask questions, get clear on expectations, give their managers the right information so that they can make good decisions. Number 2, balancing work and finding meaning at work. And this is something that I love about you guys. You're looking for ways that you can impact the world in a positive way. I always hear a lot of questions about, like, does this make sense? Or why does this make sense? And these are good questions. Does what I'm doing help people or hurt the planet? How do I feel about this job today? Do I feel fulfilled? And I think that every company should be asking those kinds of questions. Everybody should. But we're unfortunately not there yet. So while you're going to push for positive change, you have to remember that businesses exist to make money and your paycheck comes from that bottom line. So find ways, even small ways, to bring purpose to your work. If your job doesn't feel meaningful, look for ways to add value. It can be mentoring a coworker, streamlining a process that needs to be streamlined, or just being a positive presence in what are usually or often stressful workplaces. Number 3, money and the long game. A lot of you aren't making what you deserve, and I don't think that's right. I always try to pay as much as I can, but early jobs just don't pay that well, and almost all of us start out broke. I remember, surviving on a burrito and popcorn for a long time because that was all I could afford, like the one massive burrito. So be strategic and identify the high-paying roles and start working towards them. I think, right? But you need to build skills. What can you learn that will make you more valuable? Keep your expenses low for now, like the roommates and, making food at home, whatever it takes. My prediction is that as AI rises, human creativity is going to be more valuable. Having unique skills, art, humor, originality, all of those are going to stand out. So don't suppress what makes you. You got to fit it into a corporate mold while you're in those kinds of jobs. Number 4, get organized. Like for real. So disorganization is a silent job killer. You don't need to be type A personality, but you need to, number 1, use alarms. Don't just use your phone. Get a physical clock that you can look at and keep track of. For some of you guys, this is not important, but there are some people, and I know a lot, who just are not on time on things. Write things down. Fridge calendar works to start your day by asking yourself, what day is it? What do I need to do at what time? And kind of organize your day in your head before you even get out of bed. And then here's a trick that I use if you get a lot of emails. I get hundreds of emails a day. I start the day and I look at my 50 emails that are on my list and I click delete all. And before I delete all, I go in and unclick the ones that I know are important, and then I delete all. And then I just don't have a mess on my desktop, right? Set up routines so your brain isn't constantly trying to play catch up. Big tip that I have to remember too is when you wake up, don't start scrolling right away, because you're going to set up yourself to be reactive instead of proactive. Okay, so here's my big secret tip that is going to make all the difference in your work life. No matter what you're doing, take responsibility. This is what separates people who stay stuck in the same job and those that move up fast. I'm not saying take responsibility for things that aren't your responsibility. I'm saying find things that you can say, I can take responsibility of that. I can make it something that I take care of. Bosses are dying for that. They want people that are proactive, that are problem solvers. If you see a problem, you want to solve it. Now, there's a way to do that. So you may see a problem and you want to just go in and solve it. That doesn't always work because there might be information that you're not aware of. So you want to, if you see something that could be better, identify it to your boss and come with a solution. And be thoughtful about it. Don't just like every day say, well, that's wrong and it should be like that. But more like, I want to be someone who makes this better. And I'll just give you a really simple example. I used to work as a barista, and I would sometimes be at the cash register. And then after the rush was over, I would just be standing at the cash register, and it just felt uncomfortable. So I would look around to see what can I do. And a lot of times the other baristas would go on break and they would just leave a mess. So I'd go and I wipe stuff down and put things away and restock. And that was just to keep me busy. But I got noticed really fast and I moved up and I, got a raise. I started supervising people. I became the manager of the place. People are looking for that. So final thoughts. You don't have to sell your soul to the corporate world, but you do have to communicate clearly, balance meaning with the bottom line, be strategic about money and your skills, keep building up your skills, stay organized, and find areas where you can take ownership and solve problems. If you do these things, you won't just keep your job, you'll move up really fast. Now go out there and show them what you got. I believe in you guys.